Hello, welcome to Survival Builds with Exit Flagger. I am Exit Flagger. I haven't played in this world in a while, for months, really. I've been picking away at this build behind me, this kind of mansion. It's supposed to be my main base. I'm trying to upgrade. Here's my original starter base. I actually kind of like this better. And it doesn't matter because I'm moving. I'm going to pack up my things and move to another location. That's right. That means I am leaving all of these fancy builds behind, leaving my bees, leaving my axolotls, my villagers, my frogs, my mob farm, my builds, my swamp, my mangrove trees. Okay, I'm moving. I think you understand what it means when I say that I'm moving. Look, I'm not going too far, and I am going to come back eventually, but I do want to move, and I want to start a newish kind of series in the same world. Well, what does that mean? Well, we'll talk about it in a second. Let's look at this build, because I've been kind of picking at it, and I didn't really record much of it. I've added to my crops down here as well. Need some work. I was going to do a whole bunch of landscaping. Look down here. This is interesting. I was going to build a little, I don't know, little like boardwalk kind of underneath this, in this little cavern here. Here, I'll show you a little bit of the building videos that I've recorded. They're all on my old PC, so there isn't much. In fact, I just spend a lot of time just kind of looking around trying to figure things out. But you get a sense of the overall footprint of the build, the block palette that I'm using, a lot of quartz, a lot of sandstone, pretty much the same blocks that you saw me use for the villager trading hall. Yeah, there's nothing super earth-shattering happening here. And I know you're wondering, what about the interior? Well, you get that thought right out of your head, because I did not do anything with the interior, and nor shall I for some time. It's not bad. It's a little lopsided. It's a little, I don't know. I actually kind of like the style of it. But it needs work. It needs. I was going to punch out some windows, just kind of add some detail to it, and I am not going to do that because I've got something else planned. Yes, I keep babbling on about moving. Okay, well, where are you moving to, Exit Flagger? I'll show you. I don't know why this feels so sad to me. I really feel like I'm not really moving. This is so close to the main base. It's barely a flight over this ocean. I can fly back every night to my main base if I wanted to. But it's a journey. It's right over here. Right through this little Star Wars cave. And you're probably starting to recognize this if you saw the previous episode. I've been here before. That's right. I'm moving into an ancient city. I'm going to transform these ruins into a thriving subterranean metropolis. I have to kind of start over again a little bit. I'll be bringing a lot of resources over here, but I'll have to bring villagers in here eventually. But of course, there is already something living in the ancient city. And I'm going to have to get rid of it. I have to make this safe, and that's going to be the first task. So for the next few episodes, I think I'm starting a new series where I'm going to be transforming all of this into a base. I think it'll be fun. I think I will probably die a lot. Let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is sort of figure out a kind of safe space, because if I'm going to go into this ancient city and start tearing up the shriekers and sensors and skulk stuff, I'm going to have like a safe place to fly back to, and I think it's going to be here. So this is it. This is where I start building out my little safety hole. And there's going to be kind of an elytra landing pad, and I start bringing out the platform. And then I open the opening, which is a great sentence. And then I start getting rid of these screamy boys, which takes a little while. It takes a lot of wool. I spent hours clearing out this ancient city. There were so many dozens of these shriekers. Is that what they're even called? That's what I'm calling them. There were a lot of them. And it's a pretty big city. I guess. I don't know what to compare it to. It's the first one I've ever found in survival. But it took a while. This, in real time took me a week of playing on and off. It was fun. Even though there were some near-death experiences, this was a close call. There were also some death experiences. My rockets wouldn't work. For some reason, I could not get the rockets and elytra to function correctly. And I'm completely blind here. Yeah, there were a few of those. There were also a few of these. Kinetic energy. Eventually, I decided to speed torch the city, which was pretty effective. Next time I do this, this will be the first thing I do. It just helps to light up the area. Regardless of how many wardens are summoned, this is a real benefit. I finished cleaning up the city, and I decided now that all the shriekers are gone and it's properly lit up, I can move into my new base. And I choose the middle structure as my home. Yeah, I really like the interior. It's kind of like an office space. And I think I'm going to keep some of the aesthetics, the windows, the interior windows, kind of weird, but it works. And this back area is going to be my bedroom. I just have to clear it out. And this is what it looks like. Pretty standard. Double bed, I've got my music, and that's all I need. It's just cleaned up a little bit. I also needed villagers, and I don't know what that glitch was. Did you see him just scoot over? Okay, I need villagers, and there was a village nearby. And I think the easiest way to transport villagers is actually using a workstation and getting them to follow you, which they mostly do. So I brought them down into the chasm. You'll see we're right above where the ancient city sort of begins. Well, where the deep dark begins. villagers are sleeping. Well, one of them's awake. I just saw they're pretending to sleep. I found these villagers in a village not too far from the ancient city base, and I thought I would just bring them over and start breeding them. So I see him awake back there. They're messing with me. Well, here's the plan. So the villagers are over here, and we're right above my ancient city down here. So I'm going to breed them up, bring them down, and take them down this hallway. And the hallway leads here, kind of near this structure in the ancient city. And I think that I'm going to use this area to create a villager hall. I don't have to bring them too far. It'll be right here. And that's the plan. So I start building. Well, it's a little bit of cleaning up and building kind of at the same time. I'm using some of the structure that's already here to sort of guide me. And I'm building as I go. I haven't planned this out in creative. So, you know, even I'm surprised by the outcome. And eventually I decide to add some lush cave-ness, some glowberries, some moss, to kind of give this subterranean look. And it's finished. And this is basically the style I'm going for. A little bit of the ancient city is still in here. Not much of an interior, just some beds. This is where all of the free-range villagers are going to be. And the other villagers, we'll call them the hard-working labor force. Yeah, they're going to live in a hole. But this is it, and I like the aesthetic, and this is basically the aesthetic I'm going for down here. It's still sort of subterranean. I think there's going to be a mix of old and new, kind of like a big city like New York City, or if you've ever been to London or Bangkok or Hong Kong. These old cities that have old architecture mixed with new architecture. And that's what I'm going for here. That's it. There's a farm over here. I started farming down here. I'm really living down here. So, there's a warden. Well, there's not a warden, but there's a shrieker over here in that wool. There's a few of those around. I've kept some of the shriekers intact. I don't know why. Maybe I'll use them someday for something. Oh, the light. Yeah, let's look at the ceiling real quick, because this is an issue. It doesn't look great. I started lighting up the ceiling. I guess we'll see. I'll have to spread this out a little bit, but I'm not going to be able to cover the whole ceiling. Some of the skulk is going to have to stay up there, which I don't mind. I don't mind the dark ceiling. I have to finesse it and make it blend in with these little occasional little light spots. There needs to be more of a gradual situation. You can see there's light above my house over here. I got to work on that. That's the gist of it. Let's look at my base. I need to work on it. There is a lot of room in here. I don't know what to do with this, honestly. Maybe a farm? I'm not sure. But here's my bedroom, which we've already seen, and my storage system, which is just a storage system. Yeah, I got to work on this a little bit more, obviously. But that's it. That's the ancient city conquered. Yeah, I think it looks good. I like this. It's a good starting point. Okay, so that brings us to the conclusion of this episode. I'm going to wait until the next update comes out before I do anything more building. before I do anything more with the ancient city. I might do some, just some busy work, get villagers ready, start resource gathering. But I'm not going to put out another video until 1.20 comes out because I want to use cherry blossoms. Maybe replace the acacia or blend it in with I don't know. The cherry blossom wood looks really interesting, and I think it could work with this scheme that I have behind me. Also, the bamboo blocks, all of the new blocks. Heck, maybe I'll bring a camel down here. But I want 1.20 to come out before I do any more building. So that's the plan for now, and that's it. Thanks for watching this episode, especially if you made it this far and you're still listening. That's insane. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.